So welcome everyone to Boris Walks Alone Art Inc., where we love to work with the artists and really hear the artist's story and their creations and why that they create what they create. We'd like to welcome James Bacchi. James is a Palm Springs-based photographer and curator. James has created In the Sky collection, and it is an inspired series of mobile photographs shot spontaneously. These images portray the volatile relationship between the sky and the urban landscape. Each image contrasts fleeting moments of beauty, strength, and vulnerability. Muses for this ongoing series, which began in 2015, are San Francisco, Palm Springs, New York, Las Vegas, Rome, Venice, Paris, and Budapest. Bacchi is represented by Karen Mannix, Contemporary, Southampton, New York, and MRK, Contemporary in Dubai, UAE. His photographs have been exhibited at the Piedmont Center for the Arts in Piedmont, California, the Art Gallery, and the Studio Gallery in San Francisco. Catherine Markle, Bridgehampton, New York, and featured at Red Dot, Miami, courtesy of Karen Maddox Contemporary. Corporate collections include M&M Fine Art Services, Clifton, New Jersey, El Camino Hospital, Mountain View, California, UBS Financial Services, Inc., San Francisco, California, Bridgepoint, San Francisco, and University High School corporate offices, San Francisco, California. The photographer's work is included in the Museo Italio Americano's permanent collection. And I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce a lot of this stuff properly. James has selected works from In the Sky that have been featured by Lens Culture, Rare Magazine, B&W Magazine, the App Whisperer, BBC Culture Magazine, Only Mobile Magazine, Frames Magazine, and a shout out to LA Vogue in Spain and the Manhattan Arts International. James is a recipient of the 2021 Urban Photo Award, a Sheridan Prize for Art, and a 2020 Independent Arts and Media grant. James, you are really accomplished. Wow. It is great to have you on the show and to be talking with you. We're super excited about this.
Well, it's great to be with both Jennifers. I mean, what more could a guy ask for?
Exactly. Well, we're excited to have you on and really to listen about, gosh, all your accomplishments. Reading that, it's almost like a tongue twister. There's so much. You must be super proud of yourself because that is a lot. Your work is beautiful. So we'll start with asking you a few questions about this. First of all, how many years have you been creating?
It's coming up on 10.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, 10 years. I mean, that's a long time.
But I feel like even you just hearing all the established, like everything that you have interviewed and all the paintings, what you have done, I feel like you've been around for more than 10 years is what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah. I have, but this carnation or incarnation, 10 years.
10.
That's fantastic. So a little bit background about why did you start creating? Was there something that moved you? Was there a life event? Tell us a bit about that.
It was an event. I studied some photography at Antioch University and found that I loved the creative part of it, but really did not like the technical part of it. And again, this was back in the late 70s, early 80s. So photography was still completely old school.
Yep.
And then years later, I believe it was 2011, my business partner at the time, Annette Schutz, and I had a gallery in San Francisco called Art House.
Mm-hmm.
And we were invited by Daniel Berman, a Canadian, in fact, who founded the International Mobile Photo Awards.
Oh, fantastic.
And they are now, so if that was 2011, they must be coming up on what? Their 14th anniversary or 15th anniversary.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, what was interesting was he put out a international call for iPhone photography. And believe it or not, that first year, I want to say he got more than 4 million responses and submissions. And he had a whole panel of jurors who went through all of the submissions. There were several categories, everything from portraiture to cityscape to abstract. And when all the winners were selected, he put together a kind of traveling awards show. And
fantastic.
He asked if we would be the first gallery to present it. So it was the, first International Mobile Photo Awards exhibition.
Yep.
And he came down from Canada, and we installed the show together, curated it, and I was so completely blown away by the work. Yeah. I'll never forget this. There was this one photographer in the show, Shane Robinson, whose image was one of the winning images, of course, but he used 14 apps to create this one photograph.
Wow.
And, again, it was very much, I can't tell you, I think I held off getting a cell phone till I couldn't anymore. Yeah. And then once I had it and saw how easy it was to use the phone as a camera, I rekindled my love for photography.
Yeah.
So that's how it started.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. So the bodies of work, are they a snapshot of your time, your life? Was there some event that started the process? Like, I know you started like In the Sky. Which one did you start? Did you start with San Francisco? Did you start with, tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. In the Sky started in San Francisco, and again, that was like 2015. And I think the thing that kind of appealed to me more than anything about, iPhone photography was old school photography, had so much luck, I feel, involved in it, where you wanted to take a photograph, you had to set up the shot, you had to, do all this work with the camera itself, lighting, all this crazy stuff. With, iPhone photography, it's so impulsive and of the moment that, I walk down the street or I'm in my car, I've pulled over and, gotten a shot like I never would have gotten with old school photography.
Yeah.
So I just think it's fabulous.
Yeah, it's just different again, right? It's another form of creating a moment in time, and that I love that. I just
and
love
then
that.
Through travels, I did In the Sky in all these different cities, which has been so much fun and kind of a learning experience at the same time, because light is just different everywhere you go.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about that. Yeah.
Well, there's nothing quite like California light. It's really, unique. And I remember when I first moved here from the East Coast, I had gone on like a road trip with a friend of mine, and we were driving out of San Francisco into Marin, which is just beautiful. And as you're driving, and this was in the sky, but I just noticed that everything here looked like set designs.
Yeah.
You'd be driving on the highway and in front of you would be sky, hills, and it just looked like set designs. And the East Coast does not look like that.
Yeah.
So, there's beautiful things to see on the East Coast, but there was just something so magical about the light in San Francisco and in California in general. And then now, I live in Palm Springs, and the light here, because you have mountains and desert, is just a whole nother, kind of palette.
Absolutely. And light is everything. Light really speaks to an image a lot, right?
Oh, totally. More than anything.
Yeah. In the sky, Paris. So going Europe. Yes. I mean, you captured beautiful images in Europe.
And a lot of that was, I remember being there, they weren't really sunny days.
Yeah.
So again, the light was a whole nother thing. Mm-hmm. It lended itself beautifully to black and white.
Yeah.
And I got some great kind of night shots there, which I don't do a lot of.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. So tell us a bit about where was the latest one you went to? When was the latest one you went to? Tell us a bit about that one. So there was San Francisco, there was Paris, New York. Tell us a bit about New York.
Well, New York is just, you could just have the camera going as you walk. I mean, it's just, I spent the early part of the 70s there and then went back to New York in the mid 80s. So I was there from 80, probably 4 to 93. And again, I wasn't photographing then. Mm-hmm. I had a gallery there, and I started photographing in New York, going there after moving to California.
Yeah.
But I love photographing there.
Yeah. Well, they have such great architecture there. There's so many great things to look at, right? I'd never been to New York and recently was there. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, I think the best way I can describe New York is, as a city, it's almost like everything in the city, from the people to everything else in the city, is so much larger than life.
Yeah.
And that's what I find really unique about New York.
Yeah.
Whereas you go someplace like Rome or Paris, and I think I felt this more in Rome than anywhere. I found it so strange that you could be at the Colosseum looking across the street and see brand new luxury condos like on the other side of the street.
Yeah.
And that kind of juxtaposition is really odd.
Yeah.
So I feel like, every place is just really has its own special qualities that I really enjoy capturing. Like I have this shot in Rome at the Trevi Fountain, and it was under construction at the time.
Yeah.
So it was, this amazing fountain with all this incredible sculpture with stanchions all in front of it. So again, I like that. For me, that was like the ultimate tension.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. Well, we're excited to have you have your work showcased when we could come out to LA, and we are doing an exhibition that talks about the human condition and the defining characteristics. So I know you've selected an image for that. I would love to hear more about, you know, information about that piece and why you chose it, and kind of talk about it to for us.
So that piece is really, really unique, and I think the start of something very new for me.
Mm-hmm.
In the Sky is I've been doing for 10 years, and nothing but that.
Yeah.
I would say the only thing that's changed in that are, the locations,
Yes.
and always black and white.
Yep.
Last July, I want to say it was the day before the 4th of July, I had a doctor's appointment, and I walked into the office, and there was no one else in the waiting room except this woman.
Yeah.
And she was adorned from her head to her toes in red, white, and blue.
Yes.
I mean, and no, she didn't leave anything about her kind of untouched.
Yep.
She had like maybe a red bow in her hair.
Yep.
She had blue framed glasses. Her clothes were all red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
She actually had a cane, and the cane was wrapped in like red, white, and blue ribbon. The earrings were, I think they were blue stars.
Yeah.
And she was so unassuming.
Yeah.
And, was such a physical statement, but was doing nothing more than sitting there.
Yeah.
And this again, the great thing about shooting with a phone is I shot her. She had no idea I shot her because I just pretended I was texting or reading or whatever.
Yeah.
And I got this amazing shot, sent it to you. We launched it as an NFT.
Yeah.
Somehow the photo got nominated as best photograph of the year and came in as a runner up. And so that photograph, I think, is going to launch another series for me, and I'm calling it Ladies in Waiting.
Yeah. And it's so nice, like to suddenly, I mean, you've been shooting black and white for, what did you say, 10 years, and suddenly in front of your eyes.
Yes, I mean,
full color, right?
Yes. More full on than you could ever imagine.
Well, yeah, that spoke to you, right?
Yes. I mean, and it was so, again, she was so kind of loud, but so silent at the same time.
Yes.
Great way to put it.
And I feel like I actually captured that aspect of her.
Yes.
I agree.
That moment in time. Moment in time, right?
But again, I could never have pulled out a regular camera and set that shot up. So,
exactly.
As much as I'm not a fan of technology, the iPhone is a gift.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. And for so many people, right? I think that it's allowed so many people to capture new moments in time. I love that.
That you would never have been able to.
Yeah, right. Completely. Right. And to really enjoy and to cherish, right? Without saying too much, like you say, she was very loud in what she was projecting, but very quiet, quiet, right?
Yeah.
And still.
I don't think we actually even said anything. We just smiled at each other when we first were there. And that was kind of it. She was reading magazines. And again, it was just so great that she was the only person in the room.
Yeah.
Because that added so much to the photograph itself.
Absolutely. 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 So tell us, do you have another piece that you're
I have two
working
more.
on? Excellent.
And in fact, one is in a show called Tiny at the Studio Gallery in San Francisco.
Okay.
This is like one of my favorite shows, and I've been following this show forever. I think this is it might be their 20th anniversary. Every year from the beginning of November to the end of December, this studio gallery does a show called Tiny.
Okay.
And the requirement of the show is the work cannot be larger than, I believe, 7 by 7.
Okay.
So this photograph that they chose was the second Ladies in Waiting. And it's also a woman in a doctor's office. Doctor's offices have been like the place to shoot this.
Yeah.
In fact, I have an appointment today at my cardiologist, and I'm hoping to get
You're hoping you find somebody
more
else,
than a
right?
good
Yeah.
report.
Some exclusive content there, giving people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the second one, I'll send it to you. What's interesting about the second one is I'm facing this person, and she's sitting there reading a magazine, and she has like all this paraphernalia at her feet. But behind her is this landscape painting in a gold frame, but looks like one of those paintings you'd find at a thrift shop.
Okay.
So again, really, really good. So they're showing that right now. And I'm in another small work show at C2M Gallery in Los Angeles, and they chose 3 in the sky pieces. So it's like kind of fun to have both of these things in galleries right now. And
completely, yeah.
Yeah, I feel kind of blessed. So it's good.
Yeah. And just different types of work, right? Like you say, you're starting something new.
I would almost say I was like fearful about putting something else out there that was so different from what I've been doing.
Yeah.
But by the same token, I feel like, maybe it's some sort of breakthrough.
Completely. And obviously other people feel the same way because it was voted. I mean, people voted on it. So
yes.
I mean, that's very telling, right? A lot of people love the photograph, and I mean, that speaks volumes, right?
Opening.
I mean, it looks so staged, but it so wasn't.
Yeah.
And I loved that part of it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like being there at the moment, capturing that moment in time, and really showcasing the colors. Cause like you say, it was all red, white, and blue. So it was saying something, right?
And that was an image that never would have translated in black and white.
Totally. Right?
You wouldn't have even got what she was doing. But
exactly. Exactly.
So
exactly.
It's all fun.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today, and telling us about your images. We're excited to see the next ones.
Great.
I mean, the nice way about consuming art now is that you can buy it physically, but you can also buy it digitally and display things digitally, which is just another way to consume art. And personally, I love that. Both Jen and I have that in our homes. A new way to consume art. I think a lot of the younger generation likes tech. And so, just something different, right?
Well, and it opened up a whole new, I think, opportunity for a very different type of collector.
Right.
the whole NFT
Yep.
is a very different type of collector than collectors
Absolutely.
who are, only into the physical.
Yes, absolutely. Right. And interior designers too. Like the nice thing about
And
this is changing the artwork
Whenever you want.
whenever you want, right? So you change the ambiance of the room very, very easily.
yeah, and there's something like so special about that too.
Right? Right? I mean, how many times do we change the pillows or covers or blankets in our living room to
Right.
change the
Or
look?
paint in a different color or whatever.
Totally, right? To change
And
the look of a room instantly. This becomes
I
a
just
very easy
would
solution.
love to talk about one more thing while we're on this.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear it.
In addition to this new series of photography, I am very, very into collaborations, as you well know. And I'm collaborating on a project with Susie Green, who I am just so excited about. She is just amazing. She is a author, singer, songwriter. She was the last Supreme, and she's
Wow.
a incredible digital artist. And we are working on this project called Meta Contemporary, and it's about a gallery based in the metaverse. And what we will do is kind of exhibitions in all different art forms, from photography to painting to fashion to you name it. Everything will be digital, and it will have a auction component to it where each event that we do will benefit a nonprofit related to whatever the event is about.
Yeah.
So, for example, if we do a fashion event, it may be for some organization that offers fashion study scholarships.
Yes.
So we're super excited about that. And her and I will do a 2-person photography show to launch it.
Fantastic.
Called Transformations.
Fantastic.
Which will be a completely different subject matter than I'm not going to even mention.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. We're looking forward to that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that sounds exciting. Absolutely exciting. And we're super happy for you, James.
Thank you. And thank you for this. It was great to talk to you both.
Yeah, it was really great to talk to you. And thanks for coming on the show and telling us about your artwork. We love working with you. We love showcasing your art.
Same here, and I so appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I'm back at you. We love working with people like you. So it just makes our job fun, So
and you have to have fun. It's
you
all
have
about
to
the
have
fun.
fun in life. Life is about the journey, not just the end destination, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us today, James. And what we have to do is say thanks for joining us. Follow us at Boris Walks Alone for more stories, or reach out to us at info@boriswalksaloneart.com, and we would be happy to help you too. So thanks again, James, for joining us. And
thank you. It was a
pleasure. We look forward to the next pieces.
Amazing.
Okay.
We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.